Let's see. Damn it. So, the to-do list can be found. Here's what you do. If you go to the demo account example, if you just want to play around with my files, this is an example account that has most of my files. So this comes on the standard distribution, and you can say copy. Once you go to the demo account example, copy star home. I don't want to overwrite. And then, so copy star home, and then reboot, and then it'll load my example account. And then you can hit, then do this, do make OS boot install, and then Control M, reboot. So there's two files in your home directory, your menu file and your notes file. Control M is your menu, Shift Escape. Control Shift M is your to-do list, or your, I call it notes. All it does is it just edits a file. As a matter of fact, Control M, this menu is a document. Control Shift M, this menu is a document. It's not quite the same, because the Control M menu, if you hit spacebar on a macro, it executes it. But on the Control Shift M, this will not do that. Anyway, so here's my to-do list. So I've been changing. I have file links. They're not HTML links, but since I upload to my website, then I want to convert my document to HTML. And so if you hit F1 and you go to link types, you can link to a file, you can link to an anchor in a file, you can search for a string in a file, you can go to a line number in a file, you can go to a man page for a symbol. That's basically a lookup of a compiler symbol. And then you have the same thing, but it's in plain text mode. You can search for a Bible passage. You enter the Bible book and then the chapter verse. So BF is Bible find. So these have two character abbreviations. So instead of HTTP : you do stuff like BF. Like if I say this, oh shit, what did I do? Okay, so if I say edit, and then this is the main entry point into the editor. You can get there from multiple. You can go into the editor from multiple locations. Like if you click on a link, then it goes into the editor. And so there you pass it a. Normally you do a file, of course, like test.cpp. It'll figure out the Z if you don't do a Z. Normally you do that. Watch this. This is cool. This is very cool. So how about man page put chars. Okay, so this searches the symbol tables and finds put chars and goes to the source code. There's another variation which is called E. This is that you use from the debugger, and you enter an address, and this finds it converts the address to a symbol and then finds a source. So it goes to the source of an address. So for example, we can go address put chars. We got here. Now, so man page, how about if we want to say doc max? This will maximize your command line buffer. How about okay? So Bible find, and let's say Jen is. How about Luke? Oh, I know, this is my favorite passage. Luke 6:20. So it has an index of the line number of each of the books, and then it does a search after it starts at that line number. It's just a string search. Okay, so we went to Luke 6:20. This is the beatitude. I don't know what it is. If you laugh, you will cry. If you cry, you will laugh. So I was going to talk about the OS. Okay, so Control Shift M. Control M is your menu. Control Shift M is your notes. If you get confused, hit the Control key. Oh, I'm sorry. Do Alt A. Now hold the Control key down. And Control M, personal menu. Now hold the Control and Shift. And personal notes is M. Now this will go to the source code. So this is the editor jump table for different keys, and it'll either edit personal notes or it will read personal menu, and that basically runs the menu. It's not quite the same as edit. Anyway, so so if you want to see what a key does, hold the Control key. Let's go look at find and replace. How about that? So this is the source code for find and replace. So of course the main thing to remember is that you use the autocomplete for symbols by typing the first few letters, and then you can either click or Control Shift. I'm used to I know all the keyboard shortcuts. I don't know what to tell you. You probably, I don't know if not very many people are going to get that fluent. Anyway, Control Shift. That's a good one to know. This is important. So if you want to look for put chars, then you type it, and then when it appears in the menu, Control Shift F1. And then Shift Escape. Shift Escape is abort. You know, I was going to call it back, but it's not quite back. Anyway, if you hit Control, okay, I hit Control B. Now I have borders. Now if I hit F1, now look along the menu. Look along the border. Look along the border. There's a terminal window, and then it's pushed into an edit. Now what if we do, let's look for let's click on one of these. Now it's a help index, and let's hit F1. Now it's edit. Now you go back with Shift Escape, it pops you back out. So that's good to know. You can even hit Shift Escape here, and it kills your task. Control Alt. In Windows, you hit Control Alt Escape, or somewhere you do. I should change it to Control Alt T. What do you think? I should change. What's Control Alt T used for? I don't know if people know Linux or Windows. I should do Control Alt T. what do we got? Control Alt. Oh, first of all, Control Alt T. Oh, that's my. Oh, you know what I did? Okay, so I had Control Alt Escape and Control Alt Tab. Those are the Windows. Control Alt Tab in Windows cycles through the tasks. And so what I did is I said Control Alt Escape will be Control Alt E, and Control Alt Tab will be Control Alt T. So you can use either of those. But now I really screwed it up because Control Alt T is what you use in Linux. We can get the committee. And I will say no. No, I think maybe we're going to kill Windows and replace it with Wine. And therefore, we should stick with Control Alt T. But I don't. Do you want to do that? Damn it! But what about Control Alt Tab? Okay. Anyway, so Control Alt E is what Control Alt E is Control Alt T. So Control Alt E. Now we Alt V. So we have two windows. Control Alt E, Alt V, three windows. So Alt V tiles vertically. Okay, so Control Shift M. Oh, we're going to talk about Control Shift M. These are my. So this document gets uploaded to my website. So what I did is. My links don't have an end. They're not start and end in the Bible. I was kind of lazy and I just did start. Okay, but when I upload to the web, this is the King James Bible that I use. But on the web there's a modern Bible on the web, and you give it the book in the URL. So what I started doing is I started going through this document, since it's kind of this is kind of, I don't know, my thesis or something like that. And I started going through this document, and I did two different types of links. Not that one. Oh, you see how this one says from 1 to 40? Bible find 1 Corinthians. I have kind of a problem because a comma is not what you normally want, so I kind of got, it's not good for URLs, so I have to edit that when I make my HTML. Or here. So this is the tag, and this is the auxiliary string. Basically, if the commands have another string, sometimes it's an auxiliary. So that's Bible find 1 Corinthians. So I started. I modified my links so that the 40 doesn't do anything. So now what I'm doing is I'm putting in a start and end on all the links in this file, and then it'll look good when it'll work well. You want to see it? Okay, here's, if we go to my web page, cyan is God's favorite color, pretty much. Yeah, these are gems. These are where did I go here? Quotes from God. So cyan is God's favorite color. Iceberg blue. This is God's favorite color. He said gold one time, but he said iceberg blue and jade blue. God will not repeat himself, so you can't really verify. Anyway, so up at the top of this is my thesis. So if we click one of these, hey, how did I indicate that? Okay, so this is First Chronicles. And you, my son Solomon, acknowledge the God of your father and serve him wholeheartedly. That's not a good translation. So there's a billion translations. One of them says no. It's not acknowledge, it's no. You dummy. You idiots. As for you, Solomon, my son, know the God of your fathers and serve him. The purpose of life is to know God, to love God, and obey God. Everybody skips the first part, and that's the most important, because you got to know, like, how many people know what his favorite color is? See? How many people know his favorite animal? See? How many people know he likes Beverly Hillbillies? See? Yeah, somebody was worried about the osprey. Well, let's ask him. Let's ask. So, let me show you what. I hope I don't get a copyright. So we were watching this. God said this is an abomination. Same.
God doesn't like rare meat with blood in it. And you don't have to toughen up. Turn on. Smart relief, relax you out. Turn on relaxing pulses that start blocking pain immediately. And it's wireless, reusable, and easy to use. I see hot smart relief.
Okay, so God doesn't like jetpack soldiers. I don't know why. It just freaks him out. Let's. How can we certify this? Let's go to. Okay. Let's just go to get a line number. And Mr. God says 59814. 59814. So in here, with my hotkeys, Alt Shift F6, five nine eight one four. Oh, hey, you want to know what we can do? Oh, 59814. Okay. Before it with shields, nor cast a bank against it. By the way that he came, by the same he shall return, and shall not come into this city, saith the Lord. For I will defend this city to save it for my own sake, and for my servant David's sake. Then the angel of the Lord went forth and smote in the camp of the Syrians 185,000. And when they arose early in the morning, behold, there were all dead corpses. Sennacherib, king of Assyria, departed and went and returned and dwelt at Nineveh. And it came to pass, as he was worshipping in the house of Nisroch, his god, that Adremelech and Shazazer, his son, smote him with the sword. They escaped into the land of Armenia, and Esarhaddon, his son, reigned in his stead. Okay, watch this. Look, watch this. Oh, it's not going to work. Well, ED. We have to do it the hard way. File line. This is a line number in a file. Then you have to put the file. You can use the chooser, F4. It's in the miscellaneous. C is the drive. It's kind of nasty with 2 colons, but maybe we could change that. Anyway, now you do the line number. 598. Oh shit, I forgot it. 59814. 59814. I got it right. 59814. Okay. I get worried that I accidentally change my Bible files. They're not right protected, so if I accidentally hit a carriage return, I could really cause havoc. Anyway, so I have a numbered Bible file. That's kind of security. Or I'm not going to change it. I always hit Shift Escape. I don't hit Escape. So somewhere in here, we could look at how you. Oh, I was going to talk about that. I thought I had an example for how you number the Bible. I guess not. Okay, anyway, so now that I think about it, how are we getting to the, that, you might wonder, how did we get to back here when we went into, oops, quotes from God? How did we get to the, how did we get to Bible Gateway? Well, I started making my 2HTML generic so that everybody could use my 2HTML to convert from my format to HTML. But then it started getting too customized, and I decided everybody should make their own version. And what I do is I convert Bible Gateway passages by hand. So there's TempleOS, TOS, 2HTML. This is my version. And then there's the generic version, which is in here you can, so you're supposed to take this version and customize it. So like in my version, I have cyan as the background color. I used to make that, at first I tried to pass in all this text as a parameter, as an argument, but it got ridiculous, and so that's when I said just make your own. So now you have to modify and put cyan or whatever, or you can you could use my version, and it would link to my site. On my site is a complete inclusion of all the files on the distribution. So if you go to my source raw, all the files on the distribution are included, along with an HTML version. So if you want to go to my kernel, here's all my kernel source code along with an HTML version. So that's on my site, and I keep it up to date. I don't know if I can promise this for years, but probably. And so if you look, it's web, it's TempleOS, WB, and then it's the kernel. So you can tell how I, so when I have a document that's local, and I put a link to, like in your help, you can link to man page. Sometimes you might say, what would you link to? I don't know. String print. Oh shit, I put it in the wrong place. Okay, if you enter a label, it will automatically define the tag. So what I just did is maybe in your program you want to tell the reader to go to string print, and then it'll find it. And so if we converted this to HTML, I think I say TOS to HTML. I don't know if we're not going to have the meta. I think I have to have an output. Okay, now I just hit Control Shift F1 to reactivate I'm going to do full screen. Sorry about that. Okay, so Control Shift F1 brings back the autocomplete, and then when we get some symbols, oh, I have it spelled wrong, TOS. Then Control Shift F1, input, output, it can be a null, that'll make it HTML. Header, footer, and all that. Okay, so now if I do a directory, it's not Active Directory. Now we have a test HTML. Now if you hit spacebar, it's not text. We don't want to edit it with this editor. Well, that'll be okay. Shift Escape. Hit the enter and then do plain. Oh, this is almost the same, isn't it? Anyway, plain text edit. Not text, okay. If you hit Control T, it will toggle between plain text and DALDOC. I hate that word, DALDOC. Anyway, so here's my, this is how I convert it to HTML. I set up a 16 color palette. That's kind of, it's not optimized. It's not too bad. I think it does check. It doesn't do all 256, but it does, I think it does white with, I don't know, it says right there what it does. It does white with, okay. I'm actually not much of a internet generation programmer. I barely know HTML at all. I know it just enough to do this. So I went ahead and put an anchor for every line so that when you, so that in my programs, let's do find directory LK. These are some links. Let's see, what? Oh, block. Okay, find directory LK -I, that means don't ignore. Okay, so these are, oh, there's still some LK. What are you talking about? What? Oh no, there it is. LK. So hit Control T. So in my source code, I put a link. Oh, there's a bug in the highlighting. Okay, so I put a link in my source code. And what was I talking about? I don't remember what I was talking about. So, oh, the kernel project file. So that means if we go to the kernel project file on my website, you can browse by the regular directory tree, or there's a expanded Browse by file. This doesn't have, okay, so this is what it looks like on my website, and those links will work. So we can click those links, and the anchor, there's an anchor for every single line. So someday I'm going to redefine the entire internet, and I'm going to tell them, okay people, we want to have line number links on the internet. Guess how we're going to do this? Here's what we do. We define a standard browser width of 80 columns, and the links are relative to the 80 column document. And if what you do in your browser is you locate the spot for line number 100 on the web page, and then you shift it around to the actual width of your browser, and then everybody in the world can have line number links in HTML. This dumb and then anyway, so what I do is I put an anchor on every one, which is kind of ridiculous. You know what? Firefox just got worse. I upgraded. Now it keeps dying on. It keeps, you know, I shouldn't. I won't complain. One thing about God is you don't want to be a hypocrite. But they made it worse. Anyway, the reason I'm upset is because my hem page, I can't browse my hem page. Sometimes I think it's deliberate, the little motherfuckers. I don't think so. My hem page has about 11 YouTube boxes in it. Oh, it's going to crash my video. I better be careful. Maybe not. Anyway, so okay. So he freaked out on the Osprey. He doesn't like jetpacks. He doesn't like the Osprey. I'm not gonna go tell them. Why would he freak out on that? I don't know. God's weird. Circumcision, what the fuck? And he's got all kinds of weird things. Anyway, so if I had an intern, I would say no intern gets a job this awesome. It's ridiculously pleasant. Normally work's not pleasant, but this is ridiculously pleasant. So you get a point if you every time you change possessions with your own teammate. And you lose a point, or they get a point every time they change possessions. Every time a new guy gets the ball. So you hand off to your guy, and then it gives you a point. And then he's a dummy and he throws it away. Oh, he gave it to himself. And he just threw it away. So we want artificial intelligence in here so that you can pass the ball to your teammate. I just followed him. It's really hard to pass. They're stupid. So a little bit of artificial intelligence would be nice. And then it'll be a playable game. So why not have a basket? I don't know. Because it's... Let's be original. I don't know. Basket. How... You can't aim at a basket in 2 dimensions with a mouse. What the... That would be stupid. You can make it artificial intelligence, but that's stupid. So let's go pass. It's really you have to be really good to pass. Oh, I did it. I think no, I don't even think I give bonus points. You need to get 3 points for passing and 1 point for handoff. Give it back. Hey, dummy. So watch this. When you go up in the air, oh, it dribbles high. I calculated the dribble is really, I spent a lot of time on that. Okay, watch him when he goes up in the air, he dribbles. It's doing a parabolic, I like real physics in my games. So, I could be wrong, but I think it's got gravity. Of course I do gravity. So he gets up in the air and he does his hand at the right speed when he's up in the air to make it hit the ground. That took a ridiculous amount of effort. There's quadratic formula in there for but I had to do it. Some things you just have to do right. You can't have. Some things don't matter. Oh, you know what? I could use some help. Let me show you something here. Okay, hold on a second here. First of all, it's in the apps. Keep away. So this is kind of weird. I don't really know if we want to stick with this, but there's a program that'll create a man with certain angle limbs, and then you interpolate. The other option would be to have a subroutine that draws him, and you pass a structure with all the angles. Where's the quadratic formula? Here it is. Up bounce takes high percent because speed lost in collision. Oh! Did I actually calculate that? This is an approximation. My instinct tells me the viscosity. Okay, so air viscosity is what I normally use. Well, I got carried away. I was having fun. So, if you go to my website, there you can download some supplemental programs. One of them is, oh, here's my chest. I was talking about this. Anyway, rocks. So this is a really old game. I made pinto bean asteroids before everybody in the world knew about them. And somebody was mocking me on a website. They said, he's got pinto beans. Ah, I was smart. So I hate physics. Why can't you do second order F equals ma? I hate physics. Okay, so my ship spins. You know, I always wondered why astronauts do that nasty centrifugal force torture machine. Well, it's a pretty reasonable situation that could happen. If your control system gets out of whack, you could very easily be so I don't know how to do collisions. I don't know what you want to call it when they break in pieces. You know, I was going to do this really realistically, but you know what happened? So I had a mass for each one of these things, and then I started subdividing, and holy shit, you can't have 16. You can't do it if you if you have way too many particles. If you do a large mass, like if you say, okay, this mass is 16, you really don't want that many particles. It's ridiculous. I don't know how to, you want to randomly conserve momentum. So where did I do my masses? So I was gonna do absolutely realistic, and I quickly discovered too many tiny pieces. Radii. Oh, I was doing radii. I was gonna do cube. The mass is the cube of the radii. That's what I was going to use. Mass is the cube of the radii. These are bounding collision circles. You put a circle around it for a collision. Normally I do, instead of taking square root for distance, you use the square of the distance. Oh, we did auto space. Or we did auto indent. It got fucked up. I should fix this. This is the... No, this is... I ran auto indent of a function outside of a function, and it screwed everything up. So this is not on my distribution, but I should fix it anyway. Oops. So I used a third order. The built-in differential equations work for third order. Or they put XYZ, 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 DXYZ. What I did is I used a theta for my Z. So now I remember why I was so frustrated. My plan was to take the cube of the radii, and when I did that, it was absolutely not gonna work. It was ridiculous. The cube of the radii. So anyway, so how do you do these collisions correctly? So, well, obviously collisions are a problem, but what about shooting it? How do people manage to make it look good? You just got to do some nigger makeup, pull some numbers out of your ass. Mine certainly doesn't look good. So I got the brilliant idea of escorting a ship. It's a dumb idea. It's too hard. So you're supposed to, you can bump into them if you have your shield on, and then push them. So you have to escort. That song. Okay, so yeah, I should put that on my Control Shift M. This is not on the distribution. You know, the question is, what should we remove from the distribution that's redundant? Although there's no reason not to include it other than less is more. I don't know. Who cares? Do what you feel like. And that's what I don't feel like. So I took this off because it's a little bit poor quality, I guess. So Control L. What here? I'm going to make a link to that file. Control L, link to file. Okay, not the tag, but the file. Then I hit F4 is the file chooser. Shift F4 is the directory chooser. And we go on top of it and hit escape. Okay, so now it's got the drive C. I always change it to the boot drive, which is colon. When you're typing, it's quicker to type colon, but we got that other colon situation. It's kind of fucked up. So we have some to-do issues. Some of our to-do issues relate to, as a matter of fact, let's say you hit Control F, and here's a form to find something. Let's say rocks. Find rocks. Escape. Okay, didn't find it. Okay, Control T. Okay, Control T goes to plain text. Then Control F, rocks. So there, we just found it. F3. F3 is the standard everybody uses. Not everybody. So, what about $? What if we want to search for $? This is a common situation. When you have, like, look at, we're missing a lot of, it's kind of shameful, but on these links, how do you encode a comma? How do you encode a $? I think, I don't even know. Control T, Control F. Can we find $? Yeah, we can. Okay. So I did not screw up this, F3. So I'm going through all the links. Okay, so Control F, these accept $, but I forgot. Okay, F1, links. So these link types that have commas, they don't have any way to backslash a comma or to escape a comma. So that's just some stuff that needs to be resolved. It actually needs to have a syntax and a colon. Sometimes these have a colon for occurrence number. We don't have a way to backslash a colon or to escape a colon or something. What do you call it? I guess I should be embarrassed. People take pride in being professional, and that's pretty unprofessional. Most of it's professional, but that's kind of unprofessional. So, we'll be here all day. We got all day, and tomorrow, and tomorrow. Let's have some fun. Let's talk to God, Mr. God. Okay, let's just do. Okay, so Control F1. God passage is Shift F7. Shift F7. Bowels in the Lord. Having confidence in thy obedience, I wrote unto thee, knowing thou wilt also do more than I say. But withal prepare me also a lodging, for I trust that through your prayers I shall be given unto you. There salute thee, Epaphras, my fellow prisoner in Christ Jesus, Marcus, Aristarchus, Demas, Lucas, and fellow laborers. The grace of the Lord, of our Lord Jesus Christ, be with you, your spirit. Amen. The epistle of Paul, the apostle to the Hebrews. God, who at sundry times and in diverse manners spake in times past. Okay. Anyway, what were we doing? Let's go to see what if we have some people. Whoa. Okay. Anyway. Okay.